Yeah, back again. So I had to review this whole video with Candace Owens. I know a lot of people like dislike her or whatever, probably in the black community, but honestly, if you listen to her, she talks with a lot of sense. I wasn't big on this whole story with Carlee Russell. I'm gonna be honest with you. I seen it. My honest reaction was just, I hope she's gonna be okay. I hope everything's okay. Well, I said a prayer because typically when stuff like this happens, it's not a good thing. Like the end of it is not good. So that's where I left it. But then when I started seeing everybody commentating, I think TikTok was going crazy on it. TikTok people were going on here live about this whole hookup with Carlee Russell. They was going in and on her. They had the conspiracy experts up there. They had the detective. I mean, everybody was pitching in, giving their thoughts, looking at video footage over and over again. People were doing a lot. So I don't know. This came up on my for you, or the suggestion that YouTube has, and I decided to look at it, honey. So we are going to watch it together and review it. I'm going to review it. All right.
All right, guys, we are live, and I rarely do this. Once I'm home, I'm usually like, all right, I'm done with politics. I'm not doing anything, but this story has seized me from the very beginning. First and foremost, because it started so ludicrously. Obviously, it was something that seemed very terrifying. A woman named Carlee Russell sees a toddler on the side of the road. She goes out to help him, and then she vanishes. She vanishes, and all that's left behind is her wig, her car keys, her purse, and her car, running vehicle on the side of the road. So obviously, as a mother, as a person that's just concerned about citizens, if you are any person that's looking at the story, it just seems like such a bold way for somebody to snatch someone off the side of the highway. So we were all waiting with bated breath. And then, of course, something very weird happens. You don't normally see this in an abduction story. Carlee appeared on foot at her parents' house, right? And just to give you a quick background in this, it should not be relevant that she is a Black girl at all. When I first shared this case and said, oh my gosh, this looks crazy, no one cared that she was Black.
Vernon Central High School, how may I help you?
I'm calling to help you, actually.
Really?
But of course, because we live in America, everything becomes racialized. And you were instantly condemned if you weren't sharing the story and talking about it. And then as soon as she arrived home and we said, wait a second, like, where's the toddler? Is there a person that's snatching people off the side of the roads? Like, what's the follow-up to the story? You were once again being condemned because, oh my God, that's racist. Like, why don't we just believe Black women? Black women, we should just be happy that she's home. We should just let her rest. And I immediately just started calling out how suspect this case was because, of course, instantly the public should be informed about the whereabouts of a toddler, a description of a toddler, an Amber Alert regarding the toddler. We should be having some general description of the person that allegedly abducted her off the side of the road. And then I was fully confirmed of my suspicions. For me personally, when Carlee's parents did that weird interview.
Okay, so let's stop. I didn't watch the video interview. I seen a clip of it. I didn't really invest too much in this stuff because it be so much craziness. Let's just be honest. Like it be so much craziness going on. Is this? Is that? And that whole that old saying, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. It's almost getting to the point, believe none of what you hear and none of what you see, child. It's always something. Now she brings up a good point with this whole, we got to stop being ignited by race all the time. Yes, it does have basis. Of course there's racism, of course there's bigotry and prejudice, right? But that's not applicable to every situation. And I will say it's a wonderful tool for division and keep us divided and scrambled and constantly pointing the finger so we can never get organized. That works well, but it's not productive when it comes to solving something. Can we put that shit aside so we can figure out what the hell's going on? So I just wanted to say that. Let's continue.
Where they said nothing with NBC. Remember, they went on and they were very clammy and just said they were just concerned about her mental well-being and that they could not give any facts of the case because of the investigation. In all these circumstances, I always just use a little bit of common sense. Obviously, you just use common sense and you say, okay, Her mother says that she didn't hug her when she first saw her because she was in a shocked state. And so she instead called an ambulance. There's nothing in the world that is going to stop a mother and a father, especially a mother, from hugging her daughter after she's been believed that she's been abducted. I had sensed from the parents' mannerisms in that interview that they did not believe what they were saying, that they knew that something was weird with this, and they were just trying to hold off the public from any further obvious inquiries. So I stayed on this case because you know how I am. Anytime there's a scam running in Black America, I'm usually taking all the bullets for being the voice of common sense, which is just me saying, are we allowed to think anymore as Black Americans?
And let me stop you right there. I'm sorry, y'all. Yes. Okay. Listen, I know we are hypersensitive because we're always looked at in a type of a certain type of light, being Black. And I get that. I get that we don't want to always be pointed out and belittled or attacked, scrutinized. I get that. But let's be honest. Our community, just like anybody else's, every community has their level of bullshit. And that don't exclude us. So we need to quit acting like this stuff don't go on. So yeah, I mean, why shouldn't she expose the scams? And she's part of the Black community, right? I mean, she exposed all type of scams, but she can't speak on us. Come on, y'all. Like, come on. And then with the parents in the interview, as she's saying, again, I didn't watch it, so I'm just commenting to what she's saying. Because I already told you, there'll be a lot of shit going on, and I don't always invest in all of that stuff. Yes, if your child's been gone and it was a scare, they've gotten abducted, they pop up, yes, you are going to want to grab them and hug them. And body language is everything. So the simple fact that the body language wasn't translating to is really an alarming situation. That's a red flag. We always talk about red flags. Yes, this is one of them.
BLM, obvious scam. Carlee Russell, obvious scam. I called out Jussie Smollett from day one. And sometimes it's something as weird as going out in a polar vortex to get a Subway sandwich that just goes, I don't think so. Black people are not going out in a polar vortex to get a Subway sandwich. We've got Uber Eats, we've got apps, we've got Seamless. We just don't need to go out in a polar vortex. It's just not what we do. So we switched back to the story, obviously, after the parents had given this interview, and we were waiting for the police to give some sort of a statement, a general warning to the public, because people were actually fearful that we're living in this small town. Parents that were writing in saying, like, is it safe for my child to even be traveling through Alabama if we have this person, this criminal on the streets? And Carlee's family, boyfriend, everyone was saying, it's all about her mental rest. It's all about mental health. Forget the public safety measures. Forget the toddler. We all need to realize that Carlee is safe and sound. I wasn't going for it. But holy update, you guys. I didn't expect it to be bad. I didn't expect her story to be this bad. I didn't expect it to meet the level of Jussie Smollett absurdity. I didn't expect it to somehow be greater than its absurdity than two Nigerian men wearing MAGA hats, throwing bleach and a noose around somebody's neck while somebody just kept holding the sandwich. Because, like,
listen, when y'all making up this ludicrous stuff and it doesn't make sense, like, who are you trying to convince? If you're coming up with this whole scheme and scam, it's got to make sense. She's right. Black folk, I'm light-skinned, okay? And I know people and I bring up my complexion because people like to invalidate light-skinned people, but I'm not taking my ass out no polar vortex for nothing. And damn sure ain't no nasty-ass Subway sandwich. The meat is not even cooked, honey. You didn't even say Penn Station. You said Subway. Honey, I'm not going out for that. Stop playing. And that MAGA hat and all that stuff. So this girl is... They labeling this young woman Jussie Smollett 2.0. They are fooling, but I get it. We got to stop with this, though. Like, y'all got to make it make sense. I'm just saying. And I'm no shade to the young lady. I'm just speaking to what Candace is saying. That's all. I don't know this lady in real life, okay?
Subway sandwiches are so good that even when you are about to literally be lynched in the very black city of Chicago, you hold on to the sandwich even when the cops are there, right? Just like I didn't expect that her story could have possibly topped that. I thought she was a Jussie Smollett, maybe 2.0. No, this girl took Jussie Smollett to the max. This was max. Jussie Smollett walked so that Carlee Russell could sprint. Okay, that's what happened here.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce.
So the police today, in case you missed it on Facebook, I'm going to run through what they told us. They gave a public statement. They answered questions from reporters. And here is what the police chief has informed us. First and foremost, leading up to her disappearance, because her parents made us believe that they were cooperating with police. That is not the case. She gave a brief statement to the police officers after she arrived at her home. And then they just allowed her to rest for a few days. And they kept asking to further prod her narrative. And basically, Carlee doesn't want to talk to the police anymore. They're like, we're waiting. Carlee is still dealing with just being home after physically fighting for her life and mentally fighting for her life. She doesn't want to talk to the police about anything. So obviously we know she's lying. But prior to leading to this moment where she saw this naked baby, allegedly on the side of the road, a naked toddler wearing a diaper that nobody else saw, the police confirmed nobody else phoned in a toddler, another huge red flag. I will say personally, as a Black person, I'm not going to chase anything or anyone into the woods. I'm not the first to die in a scary movie. I don't want to be Blair Witch Projected, but I'm definitely going to call the police if I see what I believe to be a child. I'm not going to be going into the woods, but I'm definitely going to do something responsible, like pull over my car and call 911.
Listen, Candace, one thing about Candace, boy, not only is she intelligent, but really she is funny as hell. She right. Who is going in the woods? Who's doing that? We not doing that. I don't know what I would do for a child, though, because it is a child. But just on general principle, we're not just looking for trouble. That's not stuff that Black people do. But I have a question, though. What's really getting me is what about this story? It's Black people and kids and children and all type of stuff that goes missing all the time. Why did this story get so much coverage? And I'm not coming up, I don't have any conspiracy theories to follow up with that. I really want to know what the hell, why did this get so much coverage? And is it like something, because the election will be next year. Isn't it like something like every time before election, it be some scandal going on? I don't know. I'm just saying. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, because it's people that pop up every day, honey. I'm from Detroit. It's all type of shit going on. And it ain't making national news. And this stuff ain't making no sense. I mean, you got plenty of people saying it didn't make sense from the jump. And it went crazy. So what is really going on? Like, what machine is behind this? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Forgive me.
Well, leading up to this moment where she sees Tyler on the side of the road, Carlee at work that day stole some items from work. Very strange. She stole a dark colored bathrobe as well as a roll of toilet paper and some other items that the police declined to mention. Then she stopped at Target. First, she stopped to pick up some food from a place called the Colonnade, but then she stopped at Target and she picked up some snacks, a granola bar and some Cheez-Its. Now, this is interesting only because when that car was abandoned on the side of the road and Carlee was missing, so were the Cheez-Its and the granola bar, which would mean that when this individual abducted her, they didn't take her purse, they didn't take her keys, they didn't take her running vehicle, they didn't take her money, but they took her Cheez-Its and the granola bar, which, yeah, I guess people like Target. Maybe that's part of the narrative, but I wanted to mention that.
So the kidnappers was just hungry as hell. They hadn't eaten all day and they took her snacks and left the valuable shit. I mean, I get leaving a wig, honey, but I mean, what they gonna do with that wig? I get that, but no purse, no phone. What are we doing? It's just okay. Okay, honey, let's keep going.
So her story is she saw the baby, she pulled over, she called 911. The police officers actually played that 911 call. She describes it as a white male wearing a diaper and a t-shirt, looks to be about 3 or 4 years old. They ask her to stay on the line. The police officers point to the fact that what's weird is that after they traced the cell phone tower, they were able to discern that she moved 6 football fields. She said that she was with the toddler, following the toddler, But in that time period, while she was on the phone, she moved 6 football fields. And there aren't many toddlers that are that quick that can just, on this very short phone call, have been running alongside her car and had her following it for 6 football fields. But that's not even the interesting part of this. I'm telling you that's the suspect part, but not as suspect as this is about to get. So she says that she pulled over her car. This is the statement she gave to police. Okay, just reminding you, statement she gave to police when they arrived at her house and she was in okay condition. When she pulled over her car to assist this toddler.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not.
Okay. She gets out of the vehicle. Are you okay? Are you okay? Hello, little toddler. And suddenly a man appears and he says the toddler is fine. And this man has red hair and is balding. So we could at least limit who this could possibly be. Not too many redheads in America. I'm thinking it could be Ed Sheeran. It could be Prince Harry. It might be Donald Trump. But we now know that we're probably dealing with.
Candace is baby. Right, because you know you had to throw Donald Trump in there because you know he's the reason for everything, honey. He is Satan incarnate, ain't he? I mean, my goodness, blame it on Trump. It is crazy. Oh my God, the way I hollered. Ooh wee. And Prince Harry. Candace is crazy. Let's continue.
With a white male for sure. So they appear out of the woods and they say she's fine. And suddenly the Prince Harry type character grabs her, okay, throws her over her shoulders. She screams, drops her phone. Obviously, this is what they're going to find later. And he runs into the woods with her. And I don't know how he did that. He must have been a strong balding redhead, which leads me to believe Prince Harry maybe not, maybe more of a Donald Trump type guy, and jumps over a fence with her and obviously this toddler as well. She didn't say that she was holding a toddler, said just her, but presumably he has the toddler with him. At this point, she says that he put her into an 18-wheeler and she heard the voice of a female, but she never saw the female, but she heard the voice of a female, and she also heard the voice of a toddler in this 18-wheeler. And she says that she somehow managed to escape, which is kind of incredible. But then either they or another car, this part wasn't clear in the police explanation, but then a car caught up with her and she got double kidnapped or double abducted. They put her into a car. I feel crazy telling you the story, but this is what happens to Carlee Russell. According to Carlee Russell, they put her into a car and they transported her to a house. So now she's been double abducted. Now she's in this house, and the people in this house get her naked and they blindfold her. But she says this part, it's very important to note this. They did not tie her up when she was in the car. They blindfolded her so she couldn't see where she was going, but they did not tie her up at the wrists because the captor told her that he did not want to leave any impressions on her wrists.
Ma'am, stop it. Stop it right damn now. Now look here. Okay, he don't want to leave any impressions on your list. So what's stopping your hands from taking this blindfold off? Because he's so considerate, honey. He might not fight back. So what are we talking about? The next time y'all come up with these scams and shams, I need y'all to go get with Shonda Rhimes. I need y'all to get with whoever is writing on the Power team. Get with 50 Cent because y'all need some better writers because this stuff is not giving. It's not convincing. This shit is not selling on YouTube. It's not selling on Tubi. It's not selling nowhere, okay? We don't want it. Get somebody else to do it. Y'all gonna have to get a writing team. When you come up with this shit, you've got to plan it out better, honey, because this is crazy. And Candace is a fool. She's got me screaming over here for real. Like, I'm really trying to keep myself together, but what in the hell? Like, Dr. Seuss would have wrote a better scandal. And rhyming is his thing, but I think he would have wrote a way better one. We want to hear from Dr. Seuss. What happened, Carlee, by Dr. Seuss? You know what I'm saying? We want to hear this shit because this is ridiculous. Anyway.
So that's quite considerate, I think. If you have abducted someone and you are blindfolding them and then you just turn to them and you're like, you know what? Like, I know this has been a crazy day for you, but I'm not going to tie up your wrist because I don't want to leave any impressions. Like, who wants to have a mark left on their wrist? I thought that was very considerate of the captor, just to note that. Anyways, back to the house that they took her to. Just know where she is. She's in a house. And she says that they tell her to take off her clothes. Oh, no, I know what you're thinking. They're going to rape her. They didn't rape her, thankfully. Thank you. She was not raped. She doesn't remember much, she says, but they definitely didn't touch her or do anything sexual, but they did, she thinks, take pictures of her. Okay, so just the part of her being naked is going to become relevant later. Anyways, they took these pictures of her. And after they took these pictures of her, the female that was in this house, plausibly the one that she hadn't seen earlier, and she has not yet given a description of this female, then fed her crackers with cheese on it. It's interesting because she had a bag of Cheez-Its, so I'm wondering maybe if they took her Cheez-Its and fed her that, but the female fed her crackers with cheese, maybe Cheez-Its. I can't say that, but she said crackers with cheese to the officers, which is, again, quite considerate. They probably thought maybe she wants to know what she wants to buy. She's hungry. She's tired. At that point, she says that,
hello, Queen. Are you wanting to leave your corporate job, but worried about losing your income?
the female played with her hair, which is interesting too. Like, maybe she was just curious because this is now her real hair. Because remember, the wig's on the side of the road. So maybe the female was interested in hair care, wanted to know what was going on under the wig. At this point, they then got into the vehicle again. And lo and behold, you guys, she managed to escape again.
So these are kidnapping activists. They give a damn. We kidnap you and take care of you. What is happening? I mean, but just, it's why. I want to know why. Like, and I'm trying not to be shady, but I want to know why. What is happening, honey? At this point, this is one of them things like we need a deposit for or something, because, you know, it's like our time is being wasted. Like, can we get one of them $25 deposits for holding our time at least? I know it's not going to be a full payment, but can we just get $25 for our time at least? I don't know. And I know that's not something that can really happen, but I'm just saying, what in the world? Okay, let's keep going.
My God, this woman is amazing. So she's got these adults around her. I don't know where the toddler is anymore, but she escaped again. And she said she immediately ran through the woods. And by golly, by the grace of God, when she exited the woods, she happened to be on her parents' street. So they couldn't have been far. I don't know, maybe just a couple of blocks over. And now I feel like some of you guys might be questioning this narrative a little bit. And it might be because you have a thinking brain. But no, this is what Carlee is saying. She's sticking to the story. And you saw her parents on NBC saying her abductor is out there. Cheez-Its and all, which are probably the ones that she purchased. So this is a story that she gave to police. Now, here's what happened. Because she turned up at this house, her condition, by the way, the police shared that. She turned up with a cut on her lip, a tear in her shirt, and quite mysteriously, ladies and gentlemen, Carlee Russell had $107 cash in her socks. Well, that's very weird because they stripped her naked and they took pictures of her. I don't know where the $107 came from. Maybe, since these seem to be the friendly kind of criminals who don't want to leave impressions on your wrist, who don't want to take your purse or take your money. Maybe they gave her the money for all of her hard work. Who knows? But she said that she had $107 cash in her right sock when the police arrived, which they marked because they thought that was quite curious. So since she declined to speak further to police, the police began just doing some good old-fashioned police work after this, right? Well, something that they had in their possession was her phone. Carlee maybe didn't think this part through when she was snatching her own wig, because we all know that's what happened. So they decide to take her phone, and they involve the Secret Service. You're thinking, what secret? Are the Secret Service, can they find out anything? Well, the Secret Service apparently cannot find out who dropped cocaine at the White House. When it comes to Carlee Russell, they're able to do some good police work. And what they determined by looking at the data on her phone was that Carlee had some very curious Google searches. And by the way, can we just say this? once and for all. Please stop Googling the crimes you are about to commit.
Please stop. Like, if you're gonna Google that shit, go to a library. Go to a library in a couple cities over or some shit like that. I'm not an expert on crime because I don't do crime, but I'm just saying it's dumb as hell to do it on your own devices. That's where they're gonna look. Also, when Carlee, whenever she lives this through, I mean, it don't matter where she go, people gonna be like, you that girl, you that Jussie Smollett 2.0 chick, right? Like, how do you live this type of shit down? I just don't understand. And honey, I hope you make that $107 last, because you're gonna have to hide. You're gonna have to hide. You need a box of Cheez-Its because you're gonna have to snack on that for some time, because you're gonna be embarrassed trying to go to the grocery store if they don't lock your ass up. And I'm hoping that they don't, because this embarrassment is enough, I think, but you can't be wasting law enforcement's time. But see, just like she said, I want to point something out. She said they can't find out who had the cocaine at the White House, but they got all this time for Carlee, which really makes me wonder what the hell is really going on. And this is why I say the world is a stage, and this is why I don't apologize when I started this video and said I really didn't follow the story, because it be so many shenanigans going on. It's so much shit, especially around election time, campaigning time. We're getting to the close to the year where we're gonna have to pick another president. It just be shit going on. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, after a while, you get tired of the okie doke. You know, it's just like, and then when it gets serious, then we can get invested. But let's get serious. In this case, baby, Carlee has some bad writing. She had a bad writing team on this story. She needs to fire everybody who was writing for her, because this is ridiculous. You ran through the damn woods and ended up at home with $107 in your sock. Just by running alone, that money should have came out that sock. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, what kind of elastic was in these socks? Maybe them elastics was stronger than Mike Tyson, honey. I just want to know what the hell. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to clown Carlee, but when this shit is ridiculous, like, what else can you do but just speak your mind on it? You know what I mean? I mean, I wish her well, and I hope there's not something really going on mentally here. It might be. It sounds like a job. But, you know, you don't wish anybody no ill, but this is crazy as hell.
Just is something that I think all of us need to stop doing, because I can't tell you how many stories I read about criminals Googling the things. How do you cut up a body? You know, I know our generation can't do anything without our phones, but generally speaking, if you did cut up a body and then, you know, your wife goes missing, suddenly the police get your phone, they're going to be able to see the search. But Carlee did not know this, apparently. She's not the brightest criminal in the world. They took a look at her recent Google search history, and here's what they found. On July 11th, now to remind you, Carlee disappeared on July 13th. So why is this relevant? Because people were saying, well, maybe she just had a mental break. And that's where you're going to see the crowd that defended her and said she was abducted and that she faced trauma are going to now shift their focus to like, well, maybe she just had a mental break. Well, no, this shows that this was extremely premeditated, because this first search happened on July 11th, 2 days before Carlee went missing. She searched. Do you have to pay for Amber Alerts? The weird search. Amber Alerts are used.
Ooh.
People are abducted. Why does she want to pay for one?
Oh, Now, Carlee, you were smart enough to Google that, well, and dumb enough on your own device. But you couldn't come up with a better story than this? Now, that is crazy. There's an Amber. Now, that's one thing about it, too. We want to know. We want to know the cost of some shit, don't we? You know what? But one thing I could say, she was committed to this. As ridiculous as it was, when she took that wig off, we knew she was committed to it, because ain't no black woman that wearing a wig trying to take it off. Okay. Not until they get home. They ain't taking it off in public. This child was committed to this shit, honey.
Is she paying for her own Amber Alert? I don't know, but that is what she Googled or researched on her phone, maybe using a different browser. Then on the actual day that she went missing, 8 hours prior to her missing, she searched how to take money from a register without being caught. Now we know that she took some things from work. I don't know if she took cash. The police didn't mention that, but we at least know where her mindset was, that she was definitely thinking about taking cash. The police then said that there were some searches that they weren't going to convey to the public out of interest of protecting Carlee, that gave them an indication of her mental state at the time. So who knows what that is related to, but they're keeping those close to the chest. They did share that she also searched Birmingham bus station one-way bus ticket to Nashville. Interesting, because she doesn't live in Nashville, so one-way bus ticket kind of sounds like she was going to run away and maybe restart her life in Nashville. Maybe Ed Sheeran took her in the forest. Maybe she fell in love with him. Ed Sheeran plays some great tunes. He's playing here in a couple of days. I don't know, but that is what she researched. Maybe she knew a redhead was going to take her in the forest. I don't know. We can't be sure, guys. Okay. She also, this is probably the most embarrassing search of them all, ladies and gentlemen. She Googled Taken, the movie with Liam Neeson, where he takes his daughter and he's on revenge and you've abducted his daughter and now he's coming for you. Yeah, she researched that on the day that she disappeared.
No, you didn't, Carlee. Hell no, you didn't. Case closed. Get the gavel out. Case closed. We already know what time it is, okay? We ain't got to think about it. We don't have to do not another live on TikTok about this shit. There's no need to get to the bottom of it, honey. We do not have to go through the dirt like some kind of road beaver. This shit is a shamalama ding dong. Case closed.
She decided to Google the movie just as a refresher of me, perhaps, of what an abduction might look like. And by the way, this is just lucky because you must believe women. And obviously her story is true. This all really happened to her. There are no questions that you should have about this story unless you just hate women and you're a sexist, misogynist, whatever the shtick is today. Lastly, the last thing is that the officer shared that she searched on her phone is maximum age of Amber Alert. So that's what she was curious about. Sounds like maybe she was concerned about an issue. I think she wanted to issue her own Amber Alert, because why would you look up maximum age? Or maybe this was relevant to the toddler that she was going to concoct from thin air. I don't know. But these are her search terms. So what I would say, that if you are still holding on to the idea that Carlee Russell is telling some version of the truth, I don't know how else to inform you that you are definitely an idiot. You are definitely an idiot. You might think you're compassionate, but the truth is that you're just not that smart, right? And you just have to look at these situations and use just a little bit of common sense, okay? A little bit of common sense. Watch the way people behave. Watch the way her family clammed up after she returned. Watch how they were saying that she just needs to heal. It's just, this is not the rhetoric that you would say if there was a maniac on the loose with balding red hair, balding orange hair, whatever the color of the hair was, that was just grabbing people outside the street. The common sense aspects of this case was that other people on this busy interstate would have phoned in a naked little baby walking down. Common sense tells you that if you are a person who is into abducting people, that perhaps not on a really busy interstate is that a very good idea. People might have cited that and seen that and seen, it's just a very bold way. Also, that person would have had no idea, absolutely no idea, who would have pulled over for the toddler. It could have been 3 jack dudes, like, oh yeah, we're gonna save this toddler. And then this little scrawny redhead balding person comes out, and they would have been like, what's up? No, what's up? And then they just wouldn't have gone the way. There's no way that people abduct people. They just need a little bit, it's quite bold, okay? And so as with this story began falling apart and people were still holding on to it because they wanted to hold on to some vision in which we should just believe all women, this is a perfect reminder of why we don't. This is why we explore the facts and we use our common sense. All right, guys, I'm obsessed with this case, as you have seen. If you are starting from the beginning, I've been covering it on my show all week. You can go to Monday's episode and you can dive into where this all started and how we got here. But for now.
Okay, so let's get back into it. So listen, think about it, right? Think about, you're talking about the parents being up there and not having a lot to say and just talking about her mental health. Hell yeah. Of course, you would speak to her mental health because she got to be crazy to have me up here, sitting up here with this foolishness. What the hell could you say? You would be frozen. Think of it if it was your kid. You would be flabbergasted. They had to keep their mouth shut because they've been and said the wrong thing. They had to say, something got to be wrong with that gal that had him up there like that. And you know they got to show up to the interview. What they gonna say? I mean, I guess they could have came up with something, but you know how that is. Hell yeah. Baby, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like I said, we got to stop this stuff. Yes, we have to stop just taking anybody's word for everything based on whatever the hell. What are the facts? If it don't sound right, it's not making sense, it probably is something going on. I mean, that's just what it is. And what's crazy is this whole politically correct thing and everybody's so sensitive. It's literally gaslighting our critical thinking. We're not thinking anymore. We're just, the girl. I mean, this stuff is crazy as hell. Yeah, she wasn't. And then had the nerve to Google all of this stuff on her phone. Child, stop it. Stop it, ma'am. I don't know what this is about. I heard it was about her boyfriend or something like that. These are all speculations. I don't know. But I do think that they do need to go ahead and put that young lady in some kind of, they need to check her head. She might need a checkup from the neck up because this is ridiculous. But you know what? Young people do ridiculous things, though. They do stupid stuff. I wouldn't have done nothing this stupid at this age. But, you know, there's all type of different people in the world that have to take different paths. There's all type of storylines going on this planet for our learning, enjoyment, entertainment, drama reasons, different reasons why it's going on. So we don't know why this is at play, but a lot of people's time has been lost. And I'm sorry. I don't know. The whole thing is just funny, even down to it's always people coming up missing, always some stuff going on. But it doesn't get this much coverage. So I just find that to be weird. But anyway, like I said, I wasn't following the story hard. I seen people going live about it on TikTok. I seen it popping up on my Instagram feed and stuff like that. But I just didn't invest too much time. When I initially seen it, I said a prayer for her because generally in a real scenario, this wouldn't turn out well. And I didn't really take it any further than that, you know. But now we see that it's a lot of foolishness going on. And that's crazy. We got to stop this shit. City Girls is down 10 points, okay? City Girls is down 10 points with this shit. Your wigs are taking negatives too. This is very ridiculous. So, shout out to those who are watching me on the replay. Shout out if you're watching me on Facebook or my other YouTube channel, my first YouTube channel, because this is appropriate for that one, which will be Porch Talk YouTube or Twitter. Shout out to you. Follow me on all platforms because I'm not going to always put the same content on every platform. It depends on the nature of it, of how I navigate that. So you want to be following me on all things so you can keep up. But, you know, to make it real easy, go down and click in the info under this video and click the link that says RacqiRoadTV.com/network and subscribe to my weekly newsletter. That way you're going to get all the videos I do. You can't miss it. You're going to get any events or any information that you need to know. I'm going to give it to you. So make sure you do that, please. And thank you. I really love y'all. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the Carlee Wessel? I mean, what was your initial thoughts? What do you think about it now? We got to stop this shit, though. All right, y'all. Hey, you, let's keep in touch. Head on over to RacqiRoadTV.com/network and make sure you subscribe to my weekly newsletter. That way we can keep in touch no matter what. You see it right here. You enter your email, first name, last name, and hit subscribe. And if you're interested in being on the Black Love Group Chat panel or on Candace Stories of My Soul, fill out this Contact Us form. And don't forget to subscribe to my Racqi Road TV YouTube channel. Thank you.